Alrighty, friends, welcome back to the History with Tim channel. So, I've been doing a lot of original content lately, and forgive me, I have to wear these glasses because my eyes are really starting to take a beating. But we do a lot of original content lately. Last week was 9/11. I usually don't do videos on 9/11, but with the anniversary of the Battle of Chapultepec, I felt it appropriate because that has a lot to do with the American Civil War. You're going to see a lot of the guys from the American Civil War fighting in the Battle of Chapultepec. You're going to see James Longstreet. You're going to see George Pickett. You're going to see Robert E. Lee. He's going to be one of the people that actually devised the attack. You're going to see Ulysses S. Grant lead his men and seize Mexican artillery. So I felt it was appropriate. And then Monday we had our biography about Daniel Sickles. I know that's a little shocking, don't make it a secret that I don't like Sickles, but I thought it was interesting to bring his story to life. And I do have a special announcement. I'm going to be going to Ireland in 2 weeks. I'm going to be doing some content there based around Ireland. So we're going to take a break from the Civil War for just a little bit, just so I could start doing a little more Irish. As you know, I'm very proud of my Irish heritage. So we're going to be going to Ireland to sightsee, vacation a little bit, but also get some cool historical on-site content. That's something I really want to start doing more. The more views we get, the more I get to that monetization, and the more I can travel. I also will be planning a trip to New Orleans. I'll be planning a trip to Vicksburg, Shiloh. I will be returning to Gettysburg, where I will do better content than my last visit, and a few other battlefields as well. But today, we're going to be doing something different. Something we haven't done in I would say, quite some time. We are going to be playing a RPW called Scourge of War, Gettysburg. Now, Scourge of War is a cool series. Norbert Tech, I believe, is the company that creates them. They do Waterloo, they've done Manassas, but Gettysburg is probably one of their more popular ones. It's one of their bigger ones. So what it is using the actual tactics and strategies, whereas Napoleon, you kind of can make the regiments how you want to make them. In this, you're actually following the actual way. So I can have a regiment with advanced skirmishers. I can have columns. My men can march on the roads. Things like that. So that's what we're going to be doing today. I'm going to put the link to the game down below. It's a really cool game. My brother and I play it all the time together. He's beaten me every game so far, but also he plays it more. But we're going to have a good time. Relax, sit back. We're going to be playing as the 1st Division, 2nd Corps. That's John Caldwell's division at the Battle of Gettysburg in the Wheatfield. So our objective will be to take the Wheatfield, hold it, and then go forward. It's also, the way you win is based on a point system. And as always, I will be telling historical content around what is going on in the Wheatfield, in what way, why did the Wheatfield happen, things like that. Just for us to have a good time and relax. It's been a crazy week, especially with what happened during the weekend and, the world as it is. So let's just relax. Let's have a good time. Okay, friends, so here we go. So what we are doing is we are going to be playing as the Caldwell's 1st Division of the 2nd Corps. The scenario. Now, the cool thing about this is these scenarios are actually made by modders. So what it is someone went in and they actually made the scenario with the sandbox, and the Norbsoft, the company, which I believe that's the correct name, they let them have them. So you have multiple scenarios across the field. We're going to do this one just because it's a little quicker. So the length of the gameplay is actually an hour. Let's see if we can do that a little quicker. But so let's go through everything. Command, Caldwell's 1st Division. I'll be playing as General John Caldwell. Date, July 2nd, 1863. Time, 5:40 p.m. 1740, if we're going to go military time, since we're in the Army now. South of the town of Gettysburg, overcast and warm. So the situation, the details of the terrain ahead are unclear. The rebels have attacked the 3rd Corps and are pushing through. You need to stem the tide and plug the hole in the Federal line. Mission, plug the hole in the 3rd Corps center at the Wheatfield. So what's going to be happening is, while we are fighting, and these are the victory conditions, 1,000 points for a major victory, 700 for a minor victory, 400 for a draw. 100 for minor defeat, negative 200 for major defeat. Forces available: Major General John C. Caldwell, commanding 1st Division, 2nd Corps, Army of the Potomac. My 1st Brigade will be commanded by Edward E. Cross. My 2nd Brigade under Colonel Patrick Kelly, the Irish. My 3rd Brigade will be under General Samuel Zook. And then my 4th Brigade under Colonel John R. Brooke. Now, obviously, I am under the command of General Winfield Scott Hancock. Here's a quick little biography about John Caldwell, and this is going to be the person that set everything up. Mark S. Hughes, we're going to give you a shout out. I really hope I said your name right. And Matt A. Clyburn, Little Pal. So, pretty much what we're going to be doing is on July 2nd, 1863, General Daniel Sickles, which, you know what, I attack the guy as much as I do, but I will give him the credit. The man did have a level of tactical mindset. I'm not saying it's the correct mindset, but he had tactics in his mind. And what happened was, where he was positioned on Cemetery Ridge, he did not find it to be safe. He thought that from the Emmitsburg Road, that if the Confederates were to set up artillery, it would tear his position up. The 3rd Corps is one of the only corps at Gettysburg that only has 2 divisions. One under Humphreys and the other under, Jesus, this is embarrassing. Well, Humphreys is in charge of one. And I believe he will be the one we will be dealing with the most. Yeah. But so, pretty much what happens is he stretches his corps out too far. He's occupying the land south of, west, technically, of Little Round Top, which is called Devil's Den. And then he's in the Peach Orchard and Wheatfield. But what ends up happening is Meade, as the day goes on, he rides over after being reported by his son, George Meade Jr., who's on his staff as a captain, and informs him of what happened. And that Sickles had moved forward without order. So Meade himself rides down and says, "What have you done? You need to move back." And as this is happening, that is when the McLaws and Hood's attack begins. Now, in the Wheatfield, the 2nd Corps was sent not because they were positioned there, but because Hancock was in the center. So Hancock was actually the nearest reserve to Sickles. So what Hancock will do is he'll take his 1st Division under Caldwell's command, who, mind you, had just arrived at Gettysburg. He'll send him to plug the gap, not to hold the position. This is a misconception. The 1st Division was given very clear instructions. This was not, you're going there to hold this position now. This was, we're going to be a distraction long enough for the 5th and reserves from the 12th and 6th Corps to hopefully arrive and fill in a new line of battle. At this point, the 3rd Corps and the 2nd Corps were being used as a wall just to stop the attack. And you're going to see these divisions compared to the Union divisions, and that's what's good about this, is you're going to actually see the difference between the 2 regiments. So, with that said, let's get into it. I'm just going to warn you all, this is going to be very loud. General Caldwell, the rebels have attacked on the left of the 3rd Corps line. The 3rd Corps center is spread very thin. Move your division southwards. General John Gibbon, general in command of the 2nd Corps. Now, that's technically true, but not true at the same time. Gibbon was... What ended up happening as the day went on, Gibbon was unintentionally made commander of the 2nd Corps because Hancock, who was the commander of the 2nd Corps, had been put in charge of pretty much the left wing of the Union Army. Because at this point, you have Sickles wounded, and with Sickles wounded, that meant there was no one in command of the 3rd Corps. Yes, Humphreys was there, and actually I can find out who the other Corps commanders are. Give me 1 second. Bernie, that was it. And I knew that. That's embarrassing. So Bernie and Humphreys, because both men will be also... Bernie is actually wounded. So what you have going on now is... So right here is the 2nd Corps. This is what's awesome about this game. I also have to add on. So you have the entire 2nd Corps here. This should be... Yeah, so this is going to be Hayes's. Oh, wait, no, this is Sykes. So this is the 5th Corps. So this is the 5th Corps arriving to Gettysburg. This is all their artillery and everything. And then here is the 2nd Corps. So this should be Hayes right here. It's Alexander Webb. Harrow. Okay, so here's General John Gibbon. Harrow took over for him. But yeah, so as you can see, here's my division, the 2nd Corps, 1st Division under Caldwell. Leading, we have General Edward E. Cross. Now, Cross was an interesting character himself, but we'll get into that as the battle goes on. It looks like he's probably going to be my first in line because he's obviously leading the division forward. Following him, I believe, is going to be Zook. So right here we have General Samuel K. Zook. Zook is actually, he was a constituent brigade commander with Caldwell early war. Him and Caldwell were brigade commanders at the Battle of Fredericksburg. Caldwell obviously will be promoted following their division commander, Winfield Scott Hancock's promotion. So very interesting. And then right here we have Colonel Patrick Kelly and the Irish Brigade with their green flags. Now, the thing that stinks is down here is where all the information is. So, like, it says Irish Brigade, 1st Division. And I'm going to read you the number of men in each of these brigades. So, the Irish Brigade, I'm marching in with 530 men. Cross's Brigade, I'm walking in with 850. Zook's, I have 971. Where's Brooke? Brooks, I have 850. So my biggest brigade at this point is Zook's. But the reality is, this is a battle-hardened division. This is one that has been through a lot. In fact, I believe... Yeah, so right here. It'll actually give you the stats and everything. So, ability, competent. I have 3 militia in my division. Command, good. Control, competent. Leadership, competent. Balanced. But now, if I go to cross, this all plays into how my men are going to fight. So, Kelly... And I like that it says average, because Kelly had only just recently become the commander of the Irish Brigade at the battle. I'm going to go with... Yeah, so Zook is probably going to be our best one, because Zook is the most recent. Not recent, he's the one that's been around the longest. And then John Brooke, who I believe Caldwell took over his division. I mean, his brigade. So, yeah, competent. There we go. So, what I'm doing now, though, is... So, this is going to be, I believe, Humphrey's men. Yeah, these are Humphrey's boys. So, they're retreating from the Wheatfield right now. You can see it across the field. Up here, we actually have the 5th Corps already assuming position. But what my objective is... which I'm going to be staging my men probably in this forest here. I need to take this position here, where we see the eagle. And possibly this position, because we see over here... Oh, Jesus. We see over here more Confederate infantry on their way. So, the whole thing is right here. Now, this is something I've discussed in other videos. This is what we refer to in the historical community as as Sickles salient. We see here there is a apparent hole in the Union line. Like right now we have 3rd Corps, the 40th New York's right here deploying. We have Strong Vincent's brigade already on top of Little Round Top taking on the Confederate attacks from the Hoods, from the Alabama Brigade. And then we have here in Devil's Den, which this is what's really cool, is that you have the whole battle going on right now. So let's jump to the map real quick. You can see everything going on. This is me. My guys are right here. We're marching up. My objective is to push Anderson's men out and hold long enough for the army to get restructured. Again, my objective is not to push the Confederates back. My objective is to hold long enough that the restructuring of the army can succeed. Because right now what you have is what's left of the Third Corps is trying to hold on. We need to give the Fifth Corps, which is back here, time to get up here. Yeah, so you see there in the Wheatfield. What do we got here? We have the 9th Georgia moving up. My brother loves the Georgians and the South Carolinians. Okay, so actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to deploy my division here. Now, this is going to be a very strange tactic, but there's a reason I'm doing it. Because the thing is, if I deploy my men here, I'm going to be under fire from these, who we have here, from the 9th Georgia, the 7th Georgia, and the 8th Georgia. What I want to do is make sure I don't lose that many men. Because let's see how the points are right now. Okay, these aren't my units, that's why. So my points right now, I have 0 command score, but I also haven't lost anyone. I lose points if I lose men. My objective is to take these positions. So what I'm going to have to do, I'm going to have to strike at the Confederates here and hold the ground. And then probably part of my brigade go this way and give time for Birney's men to reorganize and prepare to counter. Alright. My boys are getting their dander up, getting into position. There is one thing about this game I will say, though. You have to control the AI. Which you do by, there's a little flag in this corner which says take charge from the AI. So what we're going to do is, once my troops get into position, we're going to cross this. Now this is Plum Run. This will go on to be known as Bloody Run. This right now is flooded in Gettysburg because of a issue with beavers. Beavers built a dam downriver, and it's flooding the entire Valley of Death. That's what this area is called, the Valley of Death. God, this game is just amazing. You know, like Devil's Den looks beautiful. Little round top, big round top. You got Culp's Hill up here, Cemetery Ridge. This is all Cemetery Ridge. So this is where Sickles was meant to be. He went all the way up to here. So you can actually see. So there's the 5th Pennsylvania. 57th Pennsylvania. So that's where he advanced to. He wasn't supposed to be there. And that's why when Longstreet made his attack, he crushed them right through here. Because over here is the Peach Orchard. Right here's the Wheatfield. And then here's Devil's Den, where the Hood's Texans would strike. And this is Anderson's brigade. The Texans must have already passed, because there's a lot of dead Union and Confederate here. Who's this? U.S. 2nd Sharpshooters. This is the, right here would probably be the angle for that famous painting called the Valley of Death. Yeah, that's beautiful. But right here is the triangular field, which I like how it's, it's very clearly triangular. I know some of you don't know a lot about Gettysburg, and I'm going to be laughing at these stupid things because I just appreciate that they put the effort into a game like this. Alright. So now, friends, we prepare for our attacks. We'll be sending Colonel Edward Cross across Plum Run first. to aid in the assault. Now, I'm not going to make them double quick because, again, you can't see it, but right down here, I have a compass, I have a time, and I have, when I click on the regiments, I have an ammunition meter, I have a morale meter, and I have a fatigue meter. So right now, all my men are rested. I want to keep it that way until they're engaged, because the thing is, if they're exhausted, they're not going to fight well. And you could say, sure, they do that in other games too. Napoleon does that. Yes and no. Napoleon, at the end of the day, it's an AI. So if I tell it to run, it's going to run, and it'll do what I tell it, period. Here, on the other hand, it won't be as forgiving. So I'm going to have Colonel Kelly's brigade in support. There's Colonel Philippe de Treboin. What I'm actually going to also do is I'm going to actually take General Zook's men, and I'm going to help the 3rd Corps men over here. And then I'm going to have General Brooke as a reserve, so to speak. Well, Colonel Brooke will be my reserve for the attack, so I'll keep them on this side of the river. Well, it's not a river, it's a run, but it's kind of a river now. So the reason I'm doing this, because the thing is, it's going to exert them from... it will exert the soldiers because they have to cross a river and everything, but it's kind of just easier because now if I were to make them go this way across this bridge, there's a battle going on here. And the thing is, our friends here, the 40th New York, they might fall. If they fall, now my brigade is going to get cut up by the Georgians coming across the field here. My objective at this moment is to cross the Wheatfield with as least amount of casualties as I possibly can. And it's not going to be an easy task. We have the 110th PA here, they're suffering. 32nd Mass, 62nd Pennsylvania, and the 5th Michigan. They're going through it. The 3rd Michigan's over here, and the 9th Mass is here, with artillery in reserve. So at this point, what my objective is to support them in their assault as much as I can. Alright. Now, I mentioned something interesting. There was this interesting fact about Colonel Cross. Colonel Cross, you can't tell from here, but he was a bald gentleman. Now, I can't speak because I'm balding, but he used to do this very interesting thing before every battle, and it was he would tie his head in a bandana. Now, usually, he would do it with a red bandana. Now, you might say that's stupid because now you're making yourself a target, but that was actually the reason behind it. It was to show his men he was fearless. He wasn't afraid. His men at Gettysburg, though, they said there was something off about him during the battle. He had become very quiet, very timid, which was strange for him. And he, before the battle, for once, he didn't wear his black bandana. He didn't wear his red bandana. He wore a black one. And his men found that very concerning because, he was always this chipper kind of guy. So the fact that he was wearing a black bandana instead of his red bandana, some people say that was him preparing to die. Like, he was sure he would die at this next action. So that's a interesting story to come out of the Battle of Gettysburg, especially with someone like Cross, because Cross was a soldier. He was a very good soldier. What I'm doing now is I'm having my men lay down because I want them to rest. It's also going to protect them from artillery. Alright, and here's Zook. Make sure my right's okay. Gonna move him up over there. Alright, we're in it. So what I have going for me right now is the fact that the poor 3rd Corps guys are taking the brunt of this. So what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to actually try to swing around my corps, my division, my brigade here. And then with Colonel Kelly following, we're going to try to flush him out. Where's Colonel Kelly, though? That's Brooke. I mean, that's Cross. Jacob Schweitzer. This is also a cool thing they do that, like, you can just... Our objective here is to try to give as much support to the 3rd Corps that we can. Alright, we're still doing good. I don't think we've lost anyone yet. Colonel Cross is here. Casualties are doing fine. We're at 850 men. We're doing good. We're doing good, guys. Let's see if we... General Zook is moving up. Beautiful. Once his men are staged, we will strike hard at that flank. Alright, so 5th New Hampshire will be our first engaged regiment, it's looking like. Now, I'll be honest, this is something that is crazy about the war. Like, look at this open terrain. This is, like I said, this is what they went through. They marched through this open field just like this. There we go. We've lost 3 men so far. Okay, 81st PA is doing fine. Okay, and we've taken the objective. So what I'm going to actually do is I'm going to move General Cross here. Because what's going to happen is there are Confederates that will be coming from here. As you see, the Georgians are still over here, so we're going to advance into this area to just solidify it. And then I'm going to move Colonel Kelly this way. Kelly actually would become a general at the end of the war. Kelly will be killed during the siege of Petersburg, leading his men through the trenches. I believe he got his commission, though, posthumously. So he got it, but he didn't, so to speak. It's kind of like John Buford, who got promoted. They also did a similar thing with Joshua Chamberlain. When they thought he was going to die, he was given a quick promotion. And then he ended up living, and then they were like, oh. That was actually a very common thing in this war. Alright, so what we're going to do now, we're going to move my ordnance wagon here. I'm going to use the road, though. And now we're going to take Brooks' men, and we're going to cross. And just so people are aware, there is no easy setting or anything like that for this game. I mean, there is, but that's more with the sandbox. So what we're doing is we're doing what the scenario asked for. And let's see how we're doing score-wise. We're up to 102. So as long as we hold here, we're going to do beautifully. And so far, we have 3 casualties and 102 points. So that's very good. But this is just the beginning. They're going to keep coming. They're not going to give up the Wheatfield as easily as this. So we're going to have General Cross hold here. And you know what? Once Brooke gets up, I'm going to send some help for the Pennsylvania boys. Help them with these Georgians. Flush them out. Kelly and Zook will secure this flank, which you see them already staging. The 51st Semis Brigade. They're already staging to assault over here. So once we get our boys stationed here, we're going to be in for it. Quagmire will begin. So what we'll do is double line, just so my boys have some defense. And what I'll probably also do, I'll piece up Brooks' brigade. I'll send some regiments to fill in this center. Yeah, because I don't know how long these boys are going to hold out. Yeah, the 2nd New Hampshire, then I don't think they're going to last much longer. Alright, here comes Brooke. If we can cave in their flank here, we can clear the Valley of... at least this part of the Valley of Death. Once that area is clear, we should be fine. It's all Anderson's brigade here. Oh, there's Anderson. Who do we have here? 17th Maine. Okay. Yeah, because these boys, they're gonna hit us. So let me actually... I'm gonna actually let the those guys take care of that. I'll let the New Hampshire and Pennsylvania boys take care of that, because I see what's coming. That's not us. So who are our nearest reserves? Alright, so that's the 3rd Corps reorganizing back there. 3rd Brigade, 2nd... oh, Jesus, they are destroyed. Oh, this is all the 3rd Corps artillery. Who's this? Colonel, 1st PA Brigade. Alright, I'm going to send a dispatch to him. Ask for some support. McCandless, Colonel McCandless. Support. Infantry support. Peach Orchard. Okay. So there goes my dispatch rider. My thing is, I know we have this big force coming right now, right here. So what my plan is, I want to try to hold that back as long as we can in time for them to show up. I have 1 eagle, so that's good. Alright, see, that wasn't even necessary to pull up the 62nd Pennsylvania, push them back. I don't even think they've started assaulting Little Round Top yet. They kind of just look like they're prepping to attack. Alright, and here come our boys. Let's just double quick because I don't want to... Again, I don't like double quicking, and to be honest, when I play with my brother, that's my biggest failure, because what ends up happening is my men are too tired to fight. But we're doing good so far. That may change. All right, there we go. Alright, so we're at 352. So, that's good because that means we're already past minor defeat. So, once we hit 500, I believe we should be good for victory, but oh, here they come. So pretty much what I've done here is I've made my own little fish hook, which, again, this is my backfire army, depending how we do, because the thing about the Confederate regiments compared to my regiments, Union regiments will not rally as easily. The Confederate regiments will. So they're holding out. The 5th Michigan, okay. Any of my boys engaged? Okay. Where's Kelly? There he is. Where am I? There I am. My supply wagon get here yet? Sweet. Alright, that's 63rd PA. That's 3rd Corps. They're collapsing. Alright, here they come. Alright, so George Meade. So, this is what I was saying about being the left wing. I'm in command of Daniel Sickles. Well, Hancock is in command of Sickles, and Gibbon. Gibbon's in charge of the 2nd Corps at this time. So, I'm going to go down to me. What's my score at? Okay, so we are at a draw as of right now. But here they come, so let's see how this goes. Hopefully the fact that Zook has a pretty strong brigade works to my advantage, and also the Confederates are having to march across treacherous ground to get to me. My issue is I can't see in here, so I don't know what's actually in here. Because there might be a whole brigade hiding in there, for all I know. But, as I was saying before, this is a Confederate regiment, like one that has not yet been engaged. Are they firing at me? Oh no, they're firing at Sickles' artillery. There we go, my boy's gonna start firing now. There we go. 15th North Carolina against the 52nd New York. 602. Sweet. There we go. Alright, they're going to be coming up right through here soon. My Sons of Erin are holding out right here. Now, this is pretty much the stage of the Civil War where that realization of Napoleonic tactics are kind of starting to die off. Because it's kind of like, this is stupid. Like right here, my guys are taking advantage, they're laying down, they're hiding. The Confederates are in chaos because they have to cross an open field. I have 6 casualties so far, 0 here. Alright, now my problem there is that my right is in the open. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take the 140th PA. I'm going to move it up here to help protect that artillery. Because that artillery is actually doing a lot of damage to the Confederates. Up that, and that's the peach orchard up here. So over here should be the Trossel farm. 73rd New York. Alright, we're rested, so we're going to double quick them. They're going to move quicker, and they're not going to be as scared if they move like this. Who's this? 40th New York, okay. This is, what's good about this game is it also shows you the confusion, because as you see, I have just random 3rd Corps regiments running through my ranks. So you really need to keep a good stock of your men. Now, they should be within range. They're going to be in a second. There we go. Who's this? Claws, okay. Oh. Had they advanced? See, now this is what I mean by sometimes you have to take command of the AI, because what's happening right now is I have my regiments are advancing forward without my command. Because again, it's trying to simulate like it's a real battle, and the reality is you in battle would have regiments like this that would get their dander up and say, okay, let's go. Alright, so we're so far to victory. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the 57th New York. I'm going to advance them just so slightly. Well, my biggest thing right now is I want to keep them out of the Wheatfield as long as I can. These guys shooting. 15 count. Wow, this guy's got really good range. Oh, jeez. I think they're routing. Pull these guys back. I don't want them being out there if they don't have to be. See how many guys I lost compared to what I took. 7 dead. I have 1 wounded, 5. I have 1 killed, 5 wounded, and we took 5 of them out. That's not great. Gonna move the 69th. Oh, that's the 88th. Mrs. Maher's own. Yeah, so the Irish Brigade before Gettysburg actually, it was either during or after Chancellorsville where you'll have Thomas Francis Maher, the commander of the Irish Brigade, officially step down from command. He attempted to resign, but Secretary Stanton wouldn't let him because he was such a pivotal symbol of Irish nationalism and everything that he was actually afraid of how it would affect the war effort, him resigning. So what he ended up doing was he just made him a kind of a pencil pusher. He gave him a command in the West, and I believe in Minnesota, and there's actually a monument to him in Minnesota because he served as a provisional governor of the state of Minnesota. Oh, Jesus. Oh, here they are. I'm surprised these guys aren't engaged yet. Oh, there we go. They see them. So I'll send the 28th PA forward. Well, not 20th PA, wow. 28th Mass. This is McClaw's, yeah. So what's happening now is McClaw's division has probably beaten back what's remaining of Birney's division. So now this is where my real test is going to be. And this is why I was saying Church Boyne. See how we're doing. Alright, we're at victory now. As long as we hold. As long as we hold. Oh, and here they're making another attempt to cross here. How's Cross doing? Cross is holding strong, good. Alright, what I'm also going to do is, because they're going to take advantage of this, I'm going to detach the 148th from Cross. I'm taking personal command. We're going to plug that gap between our regiments. Brooks' entire brigade. Now this is where the irony comes in, because Brooks' entire brigade is now engaged, and I was originally using them as a reserve. Alright, his boys are holding on good. And even the 116th PA is joining in on it. Oh, they're coming right across my front now. Alright, we got this. We're doing good. 28th Mass is only 5 casualties. 63rd New York, we'll move them up onto this rock. Give them some support. Seventh South Carolina. This is payback for game earlier with my brother. Oh, and there they are. Semi's brigade. All right. holding in the open, but I need to make sure we can hold here. Let's get these guys down from these rocks. That's not good. Alright, we're just gonna start moving men forward. Yeah, so what's happening is McClaws is trying to push through the defense we just made, and luckily we're holding good for now. What I'm going to do now, though, is I am going to start moving up my reserve regiments to support. See how we're doing. Score, Kellys. We've lost 40, we've inflicted 39 casualties. We've lost 160 men, we've inflicted 151 casualties, but we're going strong. We've broken them consistently in this field, so that's a good thing. Now you see them backing up, that means we're actually really inflicting damage on them. Oh, wow. Oh, dang. That was a good hit. Alright, so now you see these guys, they're starting to get tired. They've also been fighting pretty consistently since this engagement began. Alright, and we're still holding strong here, so that's good. Alright, here they come again. The most important thing about a game like this is you really need to be paying attention to everything, because if you're not, you know, my brother famously loves to mock me. We played this once many years ago, and he got an entire division around me on Culp's Hill, which it was bad. But I'm man enough to admit that. rock. My thing is I don't want to take them down because then they're going to get flanked. God. Let's do a little bird eye, see what's going on. Alright, so we're really engaged with Semi's brigade there. And here come Hood's Texans. Oh no, it's Benning's brigade. Where's Hood's Texans? Colonel Benning. General Benning. So Benning was from Georgia. He commanded the Georgia Brigade. That's why you had Fort Benning in Georgia. Did they change that one? I don't know if they changed that one. Oh, and here we go. Semi's brigade is starting to falter. There they go. But remember, just because we were able to push them back here, they can come back with a vengeance. Is that... No. Yeah, the biggest issue here is the terrain. This might be stupid, but I want to get these guys out of here. Alright, we're holding strong, guys. We're holding strong. This might be the nail in the coffin for these guys, though. These dudes, you know, good for them. These Carolinians, they're putting up one hell of a fight. 3rd South Carolina Brigade, 3rd South Carolina. Good for them, man. They are fighting tooth and nail against me, and I respect it. Irish Brigade's earning their name today. But again, what's awesome is while this is happening here, give me 1 second. This is going on the Devil's Den. And this is going on in the Round Tops. It's just, I think it's so cool. Like, it... Okay, we're good, we're good. I saw the casualties, I was like, wait. Yeah, so they're starting to get weak. I know it's probably so loud with the gameplay in the back, the gameplay, but I'm trying to do both. As long as those 3rd Corps guys stay there, I should be fine on my right flank. But you know what? Let me add a little oomph to this fight. We're going strong. We're going strong. So now I've completely enveloped the 51st Georgia. And I can't imagine they're going to stay in the fight much longer. Alright, we're doing good. We're doing good. We're holding them back. We're holding our ground. That's what's most important. In a second, I'm probably going to start moving some of Cross's men up to support these other positions. So far, all of our guys' morale is very high. Even these guys that have been engaged for a minute. And what I'm actually going to do is... Where is my wagon? Is that my wagon? Awesome. So this is a cool thing it'll do. The wagon will actually go out and deliver ammunition to regiments that need it. So, good. Alright, 28th Mass is doing very well. Oh, who's this? Oh, these are my guys. 27th Connecticut. Where do they retreat from? That's not good. Let's move you guys forward. Okay, this is still Brooks. These guys are... These Georgia boys, they're taking a beating. Oh, here come their buddies. I can't tell which way these guys are looking. .140th standing strong, so I'm not too concerned. That looked like something from the freaking cyclorama. I love that. Fire into them. Alright, we're doing good. We're doing good. Oh, here's their wagon. I'm concerned that these are the Mississippi guys, right? No, these South Carolina. Where's Mississippi? Where's Barksdale? Well, there's Wolford, which that's not great. They're... Oh, God. Yeah, I'm about to get enveloped. Oh my God, I've been playing this for an hour? Jesus. To be perfectly honest though, friends, I'm not going to continue this too long. Major victory. So, the reason I am not going to continue this super long is because it's 8:05. And I just wanted to show y'all the game. But we were victorious. We could look here at my statistics, battle details. It was actually Cross's brigade that got the most points, but that's also because they were holding the objective. Followed by Patrick Kelly with the Irish Brigade, then Zook. Brooks suffered the most, but Brooks also was wounded the most. And then Captain Hazard, who commanded the artillery division of the 2nd Corps. We have him here. He's our peer unit. So peer unit is like who's our like equals. His regiment is the one. His division is the one that did best after us. But yeah, let's look at the Confederates. What they got. General Robert E. Lee, our casualties, enemy casualties. So they actually did suffer more casualties than us. I mainly fought Longstreet, so let's take a look at that. So by the time we went in, Evander Law is already in charge of Hood's division. Hood will be wounded in front of Devil's Den. Wow, they only got a score of 98. So the way those score works is pretty much it's whoever gets the most of the difference between the two fighting forces. So that's why that looks like that. But that's where we are. All right, friends, and now that is Scourge of War Gettysburg. I think I'm going to do more scenarios like that. Sorry if it ran a little too long, but to be honest, that's how long it probably would have taken. It probably would have taken longer in real life. But with the score being what it was kind of pointless just to continue it on, because at the end of the day, all I would have done is moved Cross's men over, and we would have held out as long as we could. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you really enjoyed this. This is something new. I like to add these. I know the volume's probably so screwy. I need to figure out how to get the game volume and my volume working together. But please like, share, and comment if you enjoyed the video, if you enjoyed the facts that we had with the video. Please also, if you're able to, and again, I know we're going through hard times, everyone, but our national parks are really struggling. And I think, I'm going to take these off for a second just because I've been wearing them and doctors knows best, right? But our national parks have been struggling, so I greatly appreciate, even if you don't donate, if you just take a look at our National Park Preservation Fund, I'd greatly appreciate it. And please subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. Hit that little bell to get all the notifications. And you know what? Thank you so much for joining us, friends. Like I said, we will be in Ireland in a few weeks, doing some awesome content over there. But with that said, I hope you all enjoyed, and we will see you in the next one.